Hi, welcome to Get a Clue Casual Gamer, where we get a clue about a game. C-L-U-E. C for components. What am I going to find inside this box? L for length. How long does this game take to play? U for uniqueness. Does this remind me of any other game that I might be able to compare it with? E for ease. How easy is this to learn, teach, play? How easy is this to find? How easy is it on your pocketbook? Well, today we are going to look at a game that's a little bit different than most games, and it is the game Friday. What makes it so different? It's a solo adventure. It is a game specifically made for one person to play. No two people, no 2 to 4 people, one person, you. So, see, what are you going to find when you open that box? Well, you're going to find, and I've got a cheat sheet here, so I'm going to try and figure this one out. You have 3 storage boards. These are hard, like chipboard, and they have a place in the setup. You have 3 of these. You will have 3 phase cards, green, yellow, and red, and because you're going to go through 3 phases, 3 rounds in this game. You will have 10 pirate cards, and they are different from what's called the fighting cards. There are 59 fighting cards, but there's 3 different types of fighting cards. The first one is the Robinson cards. There are 18 Robinson cards, and when you first start the game, and a lot of these are really not good cards. Yeah, this one's -1 in a fight. If it comes up, it's a -1, and it says distracted. So when you're in the game, you're going to be fighting. You're going to have hazards that come up, and you have to beat the odds of those hazards. A -1 makes it even worse. But that is what we call one of the Robinson cards. I'm looking at the cheat sheet here. Then you have 11, 8 normal, and 3 difficult aging cards. They have this little, see the difference between him with just the fence and him with this? This is an aging card. And this card says he's scared. And so the highest card is 0. And it costs 2 lives. 2 life. We'll get to those in a minute. And then there's the hazard cards, and that's these, where they come up in the round. They'll come up like this. First round, it takes 2 to defeat it. Second round, it takes 5 to defeat it. Third round, it takes 8 to defeat it. So when these kind of cards come up, you're trying to use your Robinson cards to defeat these hazards. Well, this isn't going to help, because now if it's in the first round, instead of having to beat 2, you're going to have to beat 3. Really? With the next couple cards, because you're only allowed a certain number of flip over cards from your deck. But these are the hazard cards. The other thing you'll find in there, besides the rules and the supplemental sheet, which kind of is what you can keep out during the game for questions, are the life tokens. And you have, let's see, 22 life tokens. And you start the game with a few of them, and you can gain them by beating the hazards. Okay, so those are the components. That's what you're going to find when you open the box. How about L for length? How long is this game going to take to play? Well, since you're playing just by yourself, it depends on how fast you do it. But it's about 25-30 minutes is a normal length of game for this Friday. And so it's not a long game, but it does require what's called deck building, because you start off with a deck of a hand of cards, a deck of cards that you're not looking at them like this. They're face down, and there you're starting, and you don't know what's going to come up first, second, third. And what you're going to want to do at some point is get rid of like the -1, get rid of it and replace it. Even with a 0 is better than a -1. And you're going to be building up your deck to become a better deck. For instance, if you beat this hazard, it now becomes a +2, and it goes into your deck, and you are going to build a better deck. Okay, so that length of play, about 25-30 minutes. Uniqueness. This is pretty unique. There's no mass market game that I can think of that would be similar to this. Of course, the solo aspect is it's a solitaire game. It's, yeah, you're playing on your own by yourself, and you're trying to beat this game. So Uniqueness, it's a solitaire game. So if you're looking for a solitaire game, this is a good one. This is a thinkier than just plain solitaire, with regular, bicycle cards. So anyway, so Uniqueness, it's a solo game, which makes it kind of unique. And all of this deck building and pirates and hazards and all that. Yeah, you're trying to stay alive. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to stay alive. You win the game by staying alive. There are so many things trying to get you. You're stranded on this island and you're trying to survive. That's the point of the game. E for ease. How easy is this to learn, teach, play? How easy is it on your to find, and how easy is it on your pocketbook? Well, learn, teach, play. It is a little bit. Well, first of all, you don't have to teach it to anybody. You're going to learn it for yourself. And I think it's best when a person internalizes it. Now, you can teach it, but you need to know it pretty well before you try and teach it, because you don't want to teach it incorrectly. It's definitely in the casual category level, but I will tell you, you're going to die a lot until you really get some sort of understanding of it and or luck. I have won once. I have survived one time, and it was because I was a very fortunate with the pirates. Because if the island doesn't kill you, and you get to, you've beaten the island, then you have the pirates to contend with. And out of these 10, you're going to have, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3, that you are going to have to fight off once you've beaten the island. And the island has killed me several times, but the pirates are the ones that have killed me when I've survived the island. Those pesky pirates have brought on my demise. And only once did I beat the pirates, and that was because I was very lucky to have, I think, the lowest score needed. I mean, it was just absurdly ridiculous. I mean, some of these you have to have 35 points in your deck that you have built up to beat this one pirate. And what if you have this one and this one? Now you need so many more. It's like, can I just get away with? It's like, I think I won it. The time I won it with these two. I think they're the lowest number, 16 and 20. It was like, really? So if you're really wanting something that's crunchier, which is a funny term, a little thinkier, a little bit more to it, but you don't have to try and find somebody else who's willing to play it that way. It's still not in a difficult level, but you have to be prepared to die. The island is going to beat you a lot. And if you beat the island, the pirates are very often the ones who are going to get you in the end. So, easy. The game is easy. Winning, not so much. How easy is it to find, and how easy is it on your pocketbook? Well, I went on Amazon, and sure enough, it was there. I went on Target, I think it was, and they had it. Either Target or maybe Barnes & Noble. One of them had it, and it was the same price in both locations. So ease on the pocketbook, it's $16, which is a reasonable price. I mean, again, you are getting all of these fighting cards, the pirate cards, the really it's the rounds, you know, the first, second, and third round. You get the 3 chipboard things that are laid out for you. You get the wooden life tokens, and of course you get the rules and all. Okay, so a little bit more about this. $16, good components. The rule book, the front of it gives you the basic theme, the idea of the game, and then you have playing the game with pictures. There you go. And the game end. And then it gets details for questions that you might have. But the supplementary sheet basically tells you all the components, gives you the information about what you're going to find on these cards. And then this is the setup. It shows you the setup. You know, that's the preparations, the setup. And that's it. And if you want to keep track of when you play, the date and your victory points or lack of. And that's it. That is getting a clue about Friday. Except I will say that the designer is Friedman Freeze. And a little trivia, if you didn't know this already, Friedman Freeze is German, and his games always come out first in German. And his games always, in German, start with the letter F to go with Friedman Freeze. Sometimes he has a lot of games out there, a lot of games. He's one of the prolific game designers. But sometimes the name in English doesn't end up being an F, like Power Grid starts with a P in English, but an F in German apparently. But Friday sticks to his little quirky rule about naming games. They always start with F. So anyway, so that's a little trivia for you. Now the artist, there's 2 artists for it. One is called Harold Leisk, German, and the other one has a really long name, Marcel André Casasola Merkel, German. So there you have it. It's a very German-based, started, designed, and artwork-based game. Friday, it's a solo adventure for you to try out. Happy gaming. God bless you and your family. Until next time, bye.